Full week of committees this week, Senator, and probably see some of the first legislation hit the floor in the next week or two. I know one of the items of importance for you, and you're on the committee, in fact, relate to education.
This week I presented Senate Bill 42 before the committee, and it's a prohibition on teaching these divisive topics that are actually contrary to who we are as Americans. And there's a lot of school districts teaching things that are concerning to a lot of parents, and I believe the state of Missouri. And what this does, it just sets parameters of what is and is not allowed. Teaching of history is extremely vital and important, but teaching correct history and not revised history in order to paint a narrative is just as crucial. That's what we've seen, this dynamic shift in America where there's that want and desire to do so, and that's where we're going to step in and we're going to put up some guardrails. What is to be taught, what is not to be taught. And that's what this bill does. It also allows for parents to have parental bill of rights, to have a say in their education, to not be shut out, to have access to information and curriculums that are being taught to their children. They're the ultimate determiner of what's good for their child. And we, as the state of Missouri, I think, need to uplift and empower parents, not block them out.
We've learned that over the last couple of years, especially with a lot of parents really didn't know what was going on in their schools, and then they found out. And
oh, absolutely. And, we hate to see what happened with COVID, but if there was ever anything good that came out of it is people were at home and they saw online of a lot of stuff that was being taught to their kids right in front of their faces that they knew was contrary to their values, their beliefs, or what they even knew to be true. And then a lot of parents actually raised objection, wanted to get involved, went to school boards, and wanted to engage the process, only to find out they were being shut out. They were basically being thrown out, called domestic terrorists for being concerned for what in the world is being taught to my children. We see what happened this last week with Columbia School District sending kids without permission by parents to drag shows. I mean, it's complete insanity of what's going on in a lot of school districts. And that's where we as elected officials and representatives of the people need to stand up and protect innocence of children. And that's what we're doing.
Is there an opt-in or opt-out, whichever would apply in this, as in if districts want to take part, they can, or is this 100% up to the state?
Well, so this would basically set parameters of what is taught, like in CRT. A lot of people are, well, there, you can't define it. Well, what we do is we outline what kind of topics are not going to be allowed, like saying that one race is superior to another, or you would think that would be a no-brainer, but it's amazing to see the opposition to the criteria we spell out that would mimic almost what Nazi Germany did with the Hitler Youth. I mean, that is literally almost mimics what we prohibit, that sort of curriculum, yet there's a massive opposition to wanting to establish those guidelines. I really don't care if I take the flack and the hate and vitriol, because it's the right thing to do to protect the innocence of children, making sure they're getting educated, not indoctrinated.
Based on how the committee hearing for this bill went, do you anticipate floor debate to be, I don't want to say easy, but do you anticipate a battle ahead, as it were?
Oh, I see this is going to be a very divisive topic, because this is kind of the left's last stand, in my opinion. I mean, this is ideology that's been woven into curriculum, and it's really changed the dynamic of America and people's philosophy of America being a great nation or an evil one. It's a warring of ideas. So I think when it goes to the floor, it's going to be a very heated debate. Unfortunately, you would think this would be, especially after just celebrating Martin Luther King Day, of where, we want to celebrate character, not color, and, be divisive. You would think this would be just a no-brainer in putting a stop to this. But unfortunately, so many have been deceived by what's really being taught. It will be a fight.